Hey guys, I think when we look back over this past year, March 22nd is going to be one of those days that we will never forget. And the reason for that is that was the very first Sunday that we as a church had to move everything online. We moved our worship services, our Sunday morning gathering, all of our groups, our ministry to children and to students, and even the sort of the leadership meetings and the team meetings that we had. In literally 1 week, we had to shift from gathering here on our campus, gathering in homes, to doing everything digitally, doing everything online. And I cannot just say often enough how thankful I am for our staff, for our volunteers, and all the hard work that they did to make that transition possible and quite honestly, relatively smooth. They spent countless hours learning new skills, learning how to do things they had not done before, getting new equipment, putting it all up, and just doing the best that we can as a church to continue to do what God's called us to do, even though we can't do it physically. And I also cannot say enough about how thankful I am for each and every one of you and just your patience, your understanding, your flexibility with us, even your prayers and encouragement in this time have been such a blessing as we've sort of tried to figure out how to do church differently. James Lane Allen, who was an American novelist, said that adversity does not build character, it reveals it. And I think it's this difficult time, the challenges that we face that really have revealed your character. And it's something that I am super proud to be your pastor, because what you have demonstrated is a heart of love, a heart of forgiveness, a heart of understanding, and a heart that says, we're going to do whatever it takes to reach as many people for Jesus as we possibly can. And that has been revealed in this difficult time. Early on, as we transitioned from everything physical to digital, we actually developed this chart. Many of you have seen it. It's on our website, and just a guide, this sort of color guide to help us through and understand where we are and what we're doing and how we're allowing everything to take place. And we started in the red, which was everything was digital and very few people were here, just enough to make the service work. We've moved to orange, which is where we've been for several weeks now, several months now, and that's still a lot being done digitally, but allowing more and more things to happen physically on our campus. And so after much prayer and much planning, we believe that the time has come to move to the yellow phase. Now I want to be careful as I say this, because we know that the virus is still real. We know that it's still affecting people. We know that it has not gone away. And we know that there are certain people with certain, whether it be age or just medical conditions, that make you even more susceptible to the virus and its effects. And we want to be not only sensitive, we want to do all that we can to make it safe for you to worship God in whatever is the best way for you in this time. And so even though we're moving to a new phase, I want to just reassure you that we will continue to do everything digitally. So if it's not safe or not wise for you to join us physically, please continue to join us online across all of our platforms and all the different ways that we do that. But we also believe that just sort of seeing our church, our community, the people that make up our church family, that we think it's time to move to that next phase and allow more people together here physically on our campus as you feel led. And so there are 3 dates that I want to just tell you about, and you'll be receiving an email here today or tomorrow with these dates in them. But the first date is August 23rd, and that's the date that we launch our Smithville campus, and it will have one service at 10:30, and there's going to be ministry for not only for adults in the gathering, but for children from birth all the way through 6th grade. And they're going to have children's church. It's going to be a great time. They're going to learn about Jesus. The kids are. The adults are going to have a great time with live worship. You get to see the Smithville worship team this past Sunday. You'll get to see them this Sunday as well. And so that's an exciting day. We've been praying and working towards this for a long time. And it's just I can't tell you how excited we are to see what God's going to do as we take this next step. So pray for Philip and his team, and remember that August 23rd, opening in-person gathering. Second date that you need to know is September the 2nd. And that's the date that we return to our regular Wednesday schedule at CBC, or close to it, right? And that's only at our Bastrop campus. We'll have childcare for birth through third grade. We'll also be having Awana for preschool all the way through sixth grade. We're going to move Awana back to Wednesday. We think that's the best time and place for us to do that at this time. And so we're going to be moving the Awana to Wednesday night, and so that'll be available. We'll have our Wednesday gathering for students. That's for those who are in 7th through 12th grade. And then we will have one adult Bible study, at least one. We may add a second one, but at least one that begins with a time of prayer every Wednesday. So that's going to begin September the 2nd. The third date is September the 6th, and by that time the Smithville location will be up and running, and so we're going to open some more things up here in Bastrop. At 9 o'clock, we will have our classic worship service and one adult Bible study. At 10:15, we're going to have our modern service. We will have child care for toddlers and nursery. We'll also have preschool ministry, and we'll have children's church. We will have a small group for students, a group for adults, and a group that's for our Spanish congregation, for Calvario. So that's all going to be going around. One of the changes is that we're going to ask, instead of our children, some of them have been coming into our worship and then being dismissed, but to help us with just keeping things clean and keeping things organized and doing the social distancing. For this time, at this point, if you could, once you check your children in at the beginning of the 10:15 service, they will stay with our children's ministry and our children's workers through that entire time. And then at the third hour, at 11:30, we will have our modern service. Calvario will continue to meet, and we will have groups for children birth through the sixth grade. We'll have one group for students and one group for adults. It's not quite back to the full schedule, but it is getting closer. And so I encourage you to, again, look at that. We'll get that published. We'll have that on the website. But find your place, right? Find the place that God has called you to be a part of our church family. During this whole time, we're going to continue to put extra effort into cleaning our building. That's leading up to all of our services and all of our meetings. We will continue to clean the auditorium and all children's rooms between services and between groups. Our staff and our leaders will continue to wear masks at the appropriate times and places, and we encourage everyone to practice social distancing. At the same time, I want you to know that we trust you, that the leadership of Calvary, that ultimately we trust you to be wise. And so again, if you have a medical condition, or if you're at a place in life where the risk of COVID is significant, consider joining us online. Consider taking extra precautions to protect yourself. If you're concerned about the virus, but still want to join us, still would like to be here physically, let me encourage you to come to the first hour or to the third hour. Our second hour is the fullest. There's the most people here, but there's plenty of space in the third hour and plenty of space in the first hour, and you could come and be distant and be as safe as you possibly can during that time. And lastly, man, through all of this time, there's something that you've done, and I want to continue to encourage you to do this thing, and that's it, to remember that we're a family and that we're in this together. And that means that we need to be patient with each other. We need to be kind to each other. We need to remember that different people who all love Jesus and who love this church and love the church family, that even within that, we may see how we should respond and how we should react to this virus differently. And that's fine, because we're family, and ultimately we love and we care for each other. So as we sort of navigate this time, this moment in history and in our country, just remember that we have an opportunity to show each other the love that Jesus showed us, the self-sacrificing love that says, I'm gonna love, I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna do what's best for others and not what's best for myself, because we're part of this family, the family of God. And remember that no matter what's happening in the world, virus or no virus, or what's happening politically or what's happening socially, that as a church, God's called us to do something. He's called us to demonstrate His love, declare the good news, and make disciples as near and far, as many as we possibly can. And the virus doesn't change that calling. This time in history doesn't change that calling. We have the greatest mission that anyone has ever had, and that's to take the good news of Jesus to this world. So I want you to know that I'm praying for you, not just that God would give you wisdom in this time, although I'm definitely praying that for you, but I'm praying for you that you would use this time to just continue to be part of the mission that God's called you to. I want to personally invite you to join us on Sunday. Again, please be wise, but we would love to see you Sunday morning as we gather. I would encourage you to join and be part of one of our groups. Maybe even this is the time God's calling some of you to start your own group. I don't know what God's saying, but I hope that you know that we love you guys, we're praying for you, and we look forward to seeing you soon. God bless. Have a great day.